So let's quickly look at the ratio angle question. For those that didn't know how to solve it or just wanted an in-depth look on how to solve a question like that. So let me just draw that right here. Look like something like this. So I'm going to label these A, B, C, and D. Let's call this angle 1. Let's call this angle 2. The question told us that the ratio of angle 1, angle 2 is 4 to 1. Now, what is angle 1 and what is angle 2? Now I'm going to show you two ways of doing or solving this question. And it's better that you look at both, kind of have an understanding of, having a backup way of doing about it if you wanted to check the answers or whatever makes you feel comfortable. If you already know how to do a question like this, then by all means you can move on. So let's start out by noting this. So angle ABC, essentially a straight line. That is 180 degrees. So we all know that, a right angle, that's a symbol for showing that these are perpendicular, is 90 degrees. So rotating something horizontally, vertically is a 90-degree rotation. And let's say you rotate another 90 degrees. It's a total of 90 plus 90, 180 degrees. So we know that we have a straight line ABC. So that means that angle 1 plus angle 2 has to be equal to 180 degrees. Because together they make a straight line. If you started like this, B and C, rotated something to D, and then rotated it again to A, that's essentially the same as that. Did a complete 180 degree rotation. Okay, so the first way of solving this, it should be an 11. So the question told us that this is the ratio we have angle 1 to angle 2. So let's kind of think about this a different way. Let's just say we had 4 boys, 11 girls. And the ratio of boys to girls is 4 to 11. Boys to girls. Now, what if we wanted the ratio of boys to all the kids in the class? Well, we know that all the kids are comprised of boys and girls. So the total amount of kids is equal to 4 plus 11, which is 15. So there's 15 kids in the class. The ratio of boys to kids is 4 to 15, and girls to kids, 11 to 15. And essentially that's what we want to do here. So what is the ratio of A1 to the total angle, which we know is 180 degrees? Well, we know that, like before, we need the total, which is 15. So the denominator of the fraction is going to be over 15. That's the total. We're not doing A1 to A2. Now we're doing A1 to the total. So A1 to the total is 4 over 15, or 4 to 15. And A2 to total is 11 over 15, or 11 to 15. Now, essentially, like before, this 4 over 15 told us how much of the total kids were boys. This told us how much of the total kids were girls. Or if you wanted to convert percent-wise, how much are boys, how much are girls. And this tells you the exact same thing. How much of the total is A1? How much of the total is A2? So A1 is essentially 4/15 of 180 degrees. And A2 is 11 over 15 of 180 degrees. So this percent, or decimal, let's punch that in our calculator real quick. 4 over 15, which is 0.26. And this bracket just means multiplying. So out of 186 degrees, 26% is this A1 right here. So we go ahead and multiply it. So what's 26% of 180? That is 46.8 degrees. Same thing with A2. 11 over 15 is 0.73 times 180 degrees. So A2, it comprises 73% of the total straight line angle, which is 180 degrees. Punch that in your calculator, 0.73 times 180, and you get 131 degrees. If you want a quick way of checking this, just sub it back into our formula. We knew that A1 plus A2 is equal to 180 degrees. Now let's check if that was the case. So our A1 is 46.8 plus 131. What does that give us? 131 plus, which is 177.8 degrees, which is pretty much almost 180 degrees. And it's only because there was rounding error that we included. You know, this wasn't really 0.26, it was 0.266666, but we just kept it as 0.26. So that's how you kind of check your answer. If you're fine with doing it this way, then you should be okay for questions like this. If you have trouble or you just want to see the second way of doing this question, then just skip to the next video.